The sun was slowly creeping over the horizon, painting the sky with golden hues and bathing the small Italian village in a serene, almost magical light. Despite the beauty of the twilight, something seemed off. A subtle restlessness hung in the air, like an invisible presence that became more palpable with each June day. That month in particular seemed to carry a special meaning, an omen that made the locals whisper among themselves. Squares, churches, and homes were the scene of anxious voices whispering the same warning. At the center of these conversations was Padre Pio, a man whose life was deeply marked by extraordinary events. Revered for his miracles, visions, and mysteries that surpassed human understanding, he was for many an incomparable spiritual guide, a symbol of faith in uncertain times. His words, laden with an almost prophetic tone, resonated down the generations, offering direction and consolation. But now, his warning seemed more urgent than ever, like a call to spiritual vigilance. Padre Pio had spoken of a period of great tribulation, a phase of suffering that would test everyone's faith and courage. The month of June in particular stood out in his premonitions. His accounts of visions were described as intensely vivid and at the same time, deeply unsettling. He spoke of an oppressive darkness that would envelop the land, of an eerie silence, more terrifying than the sound of furious thunder. His words echoed like a call to preparation and constant prayer. Before we go any further, please leave in the comments the names of those you wish to include in your prayers. By uniting our hearts and minds in one prayer, we can extend divine blessings and offer comfort, strength, and healing to those who need it most. May each name mentioned here be remembered daily in our prayers, strengthening this spiritual chain of brotherly love that unites us as children of God. There was talk of devastating natural disasters, bloody wars, and a growing loss of faith and hope. For the faithful, Padre Pio's every word was more than a warning. It was an urgent call for spiritual preparation, a reminder that only unshakable faith and a life of continuous prayer could bring salvation in such difficult times. As the fateful date approached, the behavior of the community reflected the weight of this message. Churches that had once been quiet were now packed, teeming with people in search of inner peace. Men and women knelt in sincere prayer, sought confession, and fervently attended Massachusetts. A sense of urgency dominated hearts, moving everyone to reconcile with God before the worst happened. The stories of miracles and divine interventions linked to Padre Pio were repeated with fervor, strengthening the belief that he was a powerful intercessor in times of tribulation. The village elders, with vivid memories of other times, recalled prophecies and signs given by him. They told of nights when the priest would wake up overwhelmed by visions of suffering and destruction, exhorting everyone to return to God, persevere in their faith, and pray without ceasing, despite the challenges and pain they might face. These memories, combined with the recent rumors, enveloped the village in an atmosphere of expectation and fear. As the days passed, the impact of Padre Pio's words transcended local borders. The media in the region began to pick up on the climate of unease. Radio and television programs covered the prophecies, inviting theologians and experts in religious history to discuss their possible meanings. Exciting testimonies from people who claimed to have experienced miracles attributed to the saint intensified interest and collective belief. The narrative of a dark future associated with the date of June 6th quickly spread. No longer restricted to the small village, the message echoed throughout the region, touching the hearts of countless people. The mixture of fear and faith created a collective spiritual movement, a search for reconnection with the divine in times of uncertainty. Amid this wave of emotions and expectations, there were those who remained skeptical about Padre Pio's prophecies. For some, his words were nothing more than spiritual metaphors, meant to inspire greater devotion and reflection, and should not be taken literally. Others believed that collective hysteria had distorted the priest's original message, turning it into a cause for unnecessary panic. Nevertheless, even the skeptics recognized, albeit silently, the impact that these prophecies had on the community. On the night of June 5th, the village was on alert. The glow of the candles in the windows of each house illuminated the darkness like stars falling to earth, each flame symbolizing a prayer, a silent hope. In the streets, whispered prayers created a collective melody, a true symphony of faith that seemed to rise to the heavens. In the main church, the local priest conducted an endless mass, marked by an unusual intensity. His words were charged with gravity, reminding the faithful of Padre Pio's messages and encouraging them to keep faith and hope alive, whatever lay ahead. Finally, the eagerly awaited day arrived. The sun rose, seemingly ordinary, bathing the village in its usual light. But there was something different in the air, an almost palpable tension, as if time itself was slowing down. The hours dragged on, and every minute seemed like an eternity to those waiting for a sign, a confirmation of the priest's premonitions. Then, at nightfall, something inexplicable happened. It wasn't a dramatic or catastrophic event, but a subtle and powerful change. It was as if the world had held its breath for a brief moment. The silence was profound, but not frightening. It felt like an invitation to introspection. The days that followed were marked by reflection and renewal. For many, that night brought a new understanding of Padre Pio's messages. It didn't matter if the prophecies had been literally fulfilled. What really mattered was the transformation they brought about in hearts and souls. The village, united by faith and prayer, found the strength to move forward, firmer and more hopeful than before. People began to understand that the true power of Padre Pio's words was not just in what might or might not happen, but in his ability to inspire unity, rekindle faith, and remind everyone of the importance of remaining steadfast in their spirituality. Perhaps the challenges were yet to come, or perhaps not. What really mattered was that the community faced the fear side by side, coming out of this period stronger and more united than ever. Padre Pio's message, proclaimed with fervor until June 6th, was much more than a warning. It was a call to spiritual preparation, but also a proclamation of hope. A reminder that the light of faith can illuminate the path even in the darkest moments. With hearts renewed, the village moved forward, strengthened, ready to face whatever challenges the future might bring, guided by Padre Pio's words and spirit. Prayer became the foundation of the community, a beacon that shone brightly in the midst of uncertainty. Every dawn was greeted with songs of thanksgiving, and every dusk with supplications for divine protection and guidance. Padre Pio's words echoed in every corner, reminding everyone that living faith is the greatest treasure, a sacred bond that unites hearts and souls in the incessant search for mercy and God's presence. In every rosary prayed and every hymn sung, they found consolation and strength to face adversity. In homes, schools, and workplaces, the practice of prayer became habitual, a constant in everyday life. Parents passed on to their children the prayers they had learned from their own ancestors, creating a chain of faith that transcended generations. Padre Pio's words remained a constant reminder that maintaining a deep connection with the divine is essential. He had taught that, even in the most difficult times, an unshakable faith could bring peace, clarity, and courage. And so, the community clung to this truth, finding in spiritual unity not only a refuge, but an inexhaustible source of strength and hope to move forward. Thank you for watching this video. Leave your like and subscribe to the Living Hope channel on YouTube. Activate notifications by clicking on the bell to receive other publications.